Zip. Oh, looky, Steven. Aw, I didn't have to spend a mythic on that. Aw, no, I'm just kidding. Poor Steven. Yeah, go watch his stuff. I'd be drinking. Hello and welcome, Dirty William here with War of the Spark. Just released today, and as you can see, I got the pre-order thing because I had to spend some money. Got the little card backs, so that's kind of neat. I got this, Liliana Dreadhorde General. This should be Liliana, I think. Yeah, so I can actually use that.
Your corpse will make an excellent minion.
Wow, she's sexy. So, Liliana Dreadhorde General, cost 5 for 6 loyalty. Whenever a creature you control dies, draw a card. So not bad. +1, create a 2/2 black zombie creature token. -4, each player sacrifices 2 creatures. And the ultimate, -9, each opponent chooses a permanent they control of each permanent type and sacrifices the rest. So 1 artifact, 1 creature, 1 enchantment, etc. 1 land. So she just blasts everything off the board. Kind of hard to get her there, I would think. I mean, it already costs 6 mana, but hey, whatever. And I got 50 packs, so I'm going to claim all the things. I am not going to open them just yet. No, I'm just kidding. I'm going to open them. I have some fake monies up here, but I also have dailies that I need to do, so I'm going to do these 50 first. See what the rares are, and then after that I will grind some stuff out and buy some more packs, but that'll be in a different episode. For this one I'm just going to do the 50, and then the other like 11, almost 12 packs I'll do at some other point. And I will put a link down in the description. Go check out Access Denied 89's channel. He also did this with 151 packs because he's extra, and he has to do stuff like that. But yeah, this is just a little piddly 50. It's not that big of a deal. But I'm going to open 10 at a time just to make this a little bit faster, and then we'll go through like the commons and uncommons I might have received. So we open 10. See what rares we get. And mythics. Got 2 mythics, so that's good. Got some rare stuff up there. Let's see. We got Tomic Distinguished Advocist. 2 mana for 2/3 with flying. Lands on the battlefield and land cards in graveyards can't be the targets of spells or abilities your opponents control. Your opponents cannot play land cards from graveyards. So kind of narrow, but for 2 minutes, a 2/2 flyer. It is legendary, so that kind of is a drawback for like a white weenie kind of deck. But still, I mean that's pretty decent. Sure, why not? Living Twister. 3 mana for a 2/5, which is pretty damn good, especially with the amount of mana fixing that's in the game right now. I mean, crazy. Oh, hey, I got a little ding on my phone. Let's turn that off. You'd think I'd learned by now, recording for the last almost 5 years, but no. It's a 2/5. Pay 1 and a red. Discard a land card. Living Twister deals 2 damage to any target. And I can pay a green. Return a tapped land you control to its owner's hand. Ravnica at War. 4 mana, sorcery. Exile all multicolored permanents. So this can blast off a lot of different planeswalkers, a lot of different creatures, because again, this is a multicolored format. 4 mana though, it's kind of, I mean, it does exile them, so I see the balance there, but I don't know, I'm a fan of Wrath of God. Just destroy all creatures, boom, done. Single combat, 5 mana for sorcery. Each player chooses a creature or planeswalker they control, then sacrifices the rest. Players can't cast creature or planeswalker spells until the end of your next turn. So this kind of locks somebody out of playing more creatures or planeswalkers. There's that guy. I don't know what the hell he is. Homunculus. A 1/1. Whenever it becomes the target of a spell, shuffle it into its owner's library. Whenever it enters the battlefield, draw a card. If it entered from your library or was cast from your library, draw 2 cards instead. So it might be part of an engine. It is legendary though. So, yeah. Awakening of Vitu-Ghazi. Put 9 1/1 counters on target land you control. It becomes a legendary 0/0, so basically a 9/9 elemental creature with haste named Vitu-Ghazi, and it's still a land. It has haste. So for 5 mana, you chuck this on any land that you've got, and you're attacking with a 9/9 with haste. Trample is a thing. It can be chump blocked, but still not bad. Got 2 mythic. What? And then Lord Eternal Kefnet. 4 mana for a 4/5, which is a good finisher to begin with because it's got flying. You may reveal the first card you draw each turn as you draw it. Whenever you reveal an instant or sorcery card this way, copy that card and you may cast the copy. That copy costs 2 less to cast. So with Oh, let's say you're doing a red and blue deck and you want to throw down like Wizard's Lightning or something like that. It's going to cost only one red mana, and you get to copy it. So that's not too bad. When this creature dies or is put into an exile from the battlefield, you may put it into its owner's library, third from top. So I mean, what are you gonna? It says from the battlefield. There's how do you get rid of this besides milling somebody? This thing is just a cockroach. It's going to keep coming back over and over again. And I'm glad I got it. So there. Let's open the next set of 10. Zip. Oh, looky, Steven. Aw, I didn't have to spend a mythic on that. Aw, no, I'm just kidding. Poor Steven. Go watch his stuff. I'd be drinking, personally. Go, Ugin. 6 mana, 4 loyalty. Colorless spells you cast cost 2 less to cast. So, artifacty type of stuff. Free artifacts. There's some way of just playing a bunch of artifacts, bringing them back to your hand. Like enter the battlefield effects. Whenever this creature enters the battlefield, ping somebody for 1 or draw a card or something like that. I can see that being an engine. It does cost 6, but there's enough mana ramp in this game where you could probably get this out on like turn 3, maybe, something like that. +1, exile the top card of your library face down and look at it. Create a 2/2 colorless spirit creature token. Whenever that token leaves the battlefield, put the exiled card into your hand. That's not bad at all, really. That's pretty cool. -3, destroy target permanent that's 1 or more colors. So it cannot do colorless, but it can, hit anything else, pretty much. And the Ugin stuff is actually kind of interesting. The first time I saw that was like in, was it Future Sight? Way back then, the Time Spiral block, and they had the Flame of Ugin. It was like it was a red casting cost burn spell, but it said it was colorless. So creatures that were immune to red, had protection from red, didn't matter. You could still hit them with it, which is kind of neat. Let's see, Mobilized District. It's a land. Tap and add 1 random color, or whatever it is, non-color, I guess. Pay 4. Mobilized District becomes a 3/3 citizen creature with vigilance until the end of turn. It's still a land. This ability costs 1 less to activate for each legendary creature and planeswalker you control. So, got a legendary creature and a planeswalker out. It's going to cost 2 less. So, for 2 mana, you get a 3/3 dork with vigilance until end of turn. It's not bad. Nicol Bolas, the big daddy, 4 loyalty for 5 mana. Legendary planeswalker, Bolas. Nicol Bolas, Dragon God, has all loyalty abilities of all other planeswalkers on the battlefield. So if somebody else has a Nissa, for example, you have that ability. See, it says ability, so I'm assuming it's static ability too. So whenever I tap to forest for mana, I get an additional green mana. I would think so. And, oh, look, a Karn too. We'll get to him in a minute. +1, you draw a card. Each opponent exiles a card from their hand or a permanent they control. So they have to either ditch a card or they have to sacrifice something. Actually, it's not even sacrificing going to the graveyard, it's exiling, so they don't get that dude or whatever, or enchantment back. -3 ability, destroy target creature or planeswalker. And the big ultimate, each opponent who doesn't control a legendary creature or planeswalker loses the game. So you can really wipe somebody out with that. It's kind of neat. Sorin, Vengeful Bloodlord, 4 loyalty for 4 mana. As long as it's your turn, creatures and planeswalkers you control have lifelink. So anything that you attack with is going to have lifelink, which is kind of neat. Go back here. +2 ability. Sorin, Vengeful Bloodlord, deals 1 damage to target player or planeswalker. So you ping somebody for 1. It says planeswalkers you control have lifelink, so you will gain a life. -X, return target creature card with converted mana cost X from your graveyard to the battlefield. That creature is a vampire in addition to its other types. So this costs 4 loyalty. You play this, and it says return target card with converted mana cost X. So if you take off the 4 loyalty counters, you can get, I can see this like in a reanimation kind of deck. Pulling back a 4 mana cost thing, or even lower than that, really, if you really want to get something back. Nissa, Who Shakes the World, 5 loyalty for 5 mana. Whenever you tap a forest for mana, add an additional green. Put 3/1/1 ability is put 3/1/1 counters on up to 1 target non-creature land you control. Untap it, it becomes a 0/0 elemental creature with vigilance and haste, and it's still a land. So it's basically like a 3/3 3/3 dude with haste and vigilance and stuff. -8, the ultimate ability. You get an emblem with lands you control have indestructible, which, I mean, it's okay. Your little guy here, if you actually had counters on it, would be indestructible. So it's not too bad. Search your library for any number of forest cards, put them onto the battlefield tapped, and shuffle your library. So anything, if you could ultimate it off, you would be able to get all kinds of land on the table, because green needs more ramp. Tolsimir, Friend to Wolves. I liked the original card, Tolsimir Wolfblood, and the original Ravnica. That was pretty neat. Let's see. It is 5 mana for a 3/3. Whenever this card enters the battlefield, create basically a wolf creature token, a green wolf 3/3, and then whenever a wolf enters the battlefield under your control, you gain 3 life, and that creature fights up to 1 target creature you don't control. Watch Wolf, way back when, was a thing. It was a 3/3 for a green and a white. That was in my Celestia deck that I played at Friday Night Magic a few times. It was actually, I mean, it's a solid thing. If you can get 2 mana on turn 2, you're attacking on turn 3 with a 3/3. It was decent at the time. Dreadhorde Invasion, 2 mana for an enchantment. At the beginning of your upkeep, you lose 1 life and amass 1. So you get, this churns out dudes. Whenever a zombie token you control with power 6 or greater attacks against a lifelink until end of turn, that's kind of secondary. The first ability is kind of where it's at, in my opinion. At the beginning of your upkeep, you lose 1 life and amass 1. You're paying 1 life to get a guy, basically. Amass 1, you'll see over there, it reads, put a 1/1 counter on an army you control. If you don't control one, create a 0/0 black zombie army creature token first, and then you put the token on there. So you're getting a 1/1 chump blocker, I guess, every turn by paying like 1 life. Chandra Fire Artisan, 4 mana, or 4 loyalty, for 4 mana. Whenever 1 or more loyalty counters are removed from Chandra, she deals that much damage to target opponent or planeswalker. +1 ability, exile the top card of your library. You may play it this turn. -7, exile the top 7 cards of your library. You may play them this turn. So as far as an ultimate goes, I don't see this like in a red deck win type of thing, like a burn deck or something. I mean, this is going to take way too long to get going, and there's counter spells, there's ways to attack Chandra, so I don't really see that being that great, but I don't know anything about this game. All right, Karn, the Great Creator, is 5 loyalty for 4 mana, which is good right off the bat. Static ability is activated abilities of artifacts your opponent's control can't be activated. That means that you're not going to be able to tap and do anything with it. You're not going to be able to put counters on it, treasure token things, all that stuff. It's an activated ability. It doesn't say activated abilities of that are like not mana abilities. It just straight up says if there's an artifact, can't activate the abilities. +1 loyalty. Until your next turn, up to 1 target non-creature artifact becomes an artifact creature with power and toughness, each equal to its converted mana cost. So you have like a 5 mana cost, or say a 3 mana cost artifact on the table. You can turn it into a creature, a 3/3 creature. So that's not too bad. And it says until your next turn, so you could create one just to chump block something if you wanted to. The -2, you may choose an artifact card you own from outside the game, or an exile, reveal that card and put it into your hand. Now this ability is pretty good. It works with sideboards, obviously, in this game. So you could kind of do like a silver bullet type of artifact thing. Not this upcoming set in the fall, but maybe the next one they'll have some more artifacts. I'm really itching to see what happens back on Mirrodin, because that was when I first got into Magic. I started playing, it was 8th edition and Mirrodin, and artifacts were awesome and broke the game. It was great. Domri, Anarch of Bolas, 3 loyalty for 3 mana. The static ability is creatures you control get +1/+0, so pretty good, hitting hard, kind of. Excuse me, I had to cough. So the +1 ability, add a red or green. Creature spells you cast this turn cannot be countered. Decent. I mean, if you can land this thing and stick it, then you can play creature and not get it countered. So that's a thing. Dies to removal, though, as everybody says. The -2, target creature you control fights target creature you don't control. So fight, 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 kiss, kiss, kiss. All right, next 10. Zip. All right, Karn's Bastion. Tap and add a colorless mana, or 4 tap proliferate. So that's kind of interesting. Put a bunch of counters on things. the text up there, proliferate, choose any number of permanents and or players, then give them each another counter of each kind they already have. So there. Which is good for, I guess, maybe poison decks. Maybe this will see a home in that. I think poison decks are a little bit too fast, though. This costs 4 mana, so just for, like, giving somebody another counter. Yeah, never mind. I'm stupid. Liliana, Dreadhorde General. Got another one of these, so that's good. So that makes 2 I've got. Finale of Devastation. X and 2 green for a sorcery. Search your library and graveyard for a creature card with converted mana cost X or less. So let's stop there. Let's say that we've got a 2 mana cost silver bullet thing or something like that, right? In our library. 2 mana cost when it comes into play or enters the battlefield, rather, we get some kind of effect. Put it onto the battlefield. Then shuffle your library. If X is 10 or more, creatures you control get +X/+X and gain haste until end of turn. Of course, I'm going to cough my head off since I'm recording. Why not? I'd be fine any other time. So the benefit is you don't want a smaller thing, but you want a bigger thing, because that's what she said. You want to have this X to be 10 or more. So let's say it's 10, so it's 12 mana. You look for your library or graveyard for a creature with 12 or less, put it in the battlefield. Then all your creatures get +X/+X, so you get +10/+10 and gain haste until end of turn. So that's a pretty big army. Pretty big. Enter the God Eternals. Sorcery for 5 mana. Enter the God Eternals deals 4 damage to target creature. So it's removal for a dude. And you gain a life equal to the damage dealt this way. So it's a 4-point or an 8-point life swing. Well, no, because it's 2 creatures only. Never mind. Can I not? I just read that. Oh my god. Have I been drinking? I don't even know. Jesus Christ. Okay, so you get to get rid of a creature, and you get to gain 4 life. Target player puts the top 4 cards of the little library into their graveyard and amass 4. So you get a 4/4 zombie out of it, which is not bad at all. I'd do that. I'd get me some zombies. Storev, Devkarin Leech. 5 mana. Wait, no, 4 mana. 4 mana for a 5/4 with Trample, Zombie Elf. Whenever this card deals combat damage to a player or planeswalker, return to your hand target creature or planeswalker card in your graveyard that wasn't put there this combat. In other words, if a dude didn't die this turn, like planeswalker or creature, then you get to go grab that and put it back in your hand. That's pretty much all it is. And let's go over here. Karn, we already covered him. Another Nissa, another Chandra, Teferi, Time Raveler, 3 mana, or 4 loyalty for 3 mana. Each opponent can cast spells only anytime they can cast a sorcery. The original Teferi was like that, if I recall correctly. Because my nephew Terry played Teferi in a deck, and I freaking hated it, and I always forgot that you could not cast instant spells anytime you wanted to. You could only do it as a sorcery, which really sucked, because of course I was probably running a filthy burn deck. Okay, so +1 loyalty. Until your next turn, you may cast sorcery spells as though they had flash, which is pretty crazy, because sorcery, the reason they're sorcery speed is because they're usually more powerful. Return up to 1 target artifact, creature, or enchantment to its owner's hand, and then draw a card. Not horrible. I mean, you could bounce somebody and they get to draw a card, so that's pretty decent. But as far as a +3, I think the static ability is actually pretty decent. That anything to make the game more difficult for somebody else to play is good for control. I'm not control. I can't do control. And the last one in this set of 10 packs is Vivian, Champion of the Wilds, 4 loyalty for 3 mana. Static ability. You may cast creature spells as though they had flash. Kind of neat. You can throw stuff out there as surprise blockers or something like that, or on the end of your turn, so you can attack with them. Fairly good against control, I guess. The +1 ability. Until your next turn, up to 1 target creature gains vigilance and reach. Okay. -2. Look at the top 3 cards of your library. Exile 1 of them face down. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in any order. For as long as it remains exiled, you may look at that card. And that's it. No, that would be stupid. And you may cast it if it's a creature card. So again, you can only cast it on your turn, but it's the ability to have like an extra guy, I guess. I think the flash thing is kind of neat, but everything else I'm not really impressed by. But it takes a lot to impress me. It really does. All right, next 10. Skadoosh. Okay, we've got another Karn, got a Mythic wild card, Liliana Dreadhorde General again, another Chandra, got a rare wild card, another Teferi, another Dreadhorde Invasion, Sarkhan the Masterless, 5 loyalty for 5 mana. Static ability. Whenever a creature attacks you or a planeswalker you control, each dragon you control deals 1 damage to that creature. Okay, so you got to deal with dragons. Alright. The +1. Until end of turn, each planeswalker you control becomes a 4/4 red dragon creature and gains flying. So you've got to have a lot of planeswalkers. I guess this is a build around type of thing and have a lot of planeswalkers, which is doable now because there's a lot of planeswalkers in this set. And then the -3, create a 4/4 red dragon creature token with flying. So you can slam this down, immediately take that off, and then you've got a 4/4 flyer effectively for 5 mana, and then you can +1 this guy if you wanted to, because it says each planeswalker you control becomes a 4/4 red dragon creature and gains flying. So you could actually, he would be a 4/4 dude, so not bad. Jace, Wielder of Mysteries. 4 loyalty, 4 mana. Static ability. If you would draw a card while your library has no cards in it, you win the game instead. So alternate win con. +1. Target player puts the top 2 cards of their library into their graveyard and draw a card. And then the ultimate -8. Draw 7 cards. Then if your library has no cards in it, you win the game. So another alternate win con. Another Vivienne, which I'm not too... I mean, it's okay. Alright, and let's open the last 10. See what we get. Okay. Got some other stuff there. Nice. Vivian. Yeah, we've already read her. Niv-Mizzet Reborn. Cool. All right, so let's talk about Commander for just a second. 5 mana for a 6/6 flyer is pretty good. In Commander, this is like all colors, so what could we do with that? What kind of deck is this going to fit into? Whenever this card enters the battlefield, reveal the top 10 cards of your library. For each color pair, so red-black, black-blue, blue-green, etc., choose a card that's exactly those colors from among them. Put the chosen cards into your hand, the rest on the bottom of your library, in a random order. In other words, I can't get to red and black cards, for example. I can't get 2 blue and white cards, like with that color combo. It has to be like a white-blue, and then a blue-black, and so on and so forth. So there's 10 color combinations, and there's 10 different cards. So you're going to be playing like some multicolor madness. I'm not sure if you can get that off the ground. But in Commander, doesn't seem too bad. You get to dig for some stuff, which is a symbol like something, I don't know. Finale of Glory. X and 2 white. Sorcery. Create X 2/2 white soldier creature tokens with vigilance. If X is 10 or more, so that's the theme with this kind of lateral progression that they've got here. This, what do they call it? If it's 10 or more, also create X 4/4 white angel creature tokens with flying and vigilance. So I pay 10 mana for the X, 2 mana for the other. I get 10 2/2 white soldier creature tokens, and I get 10 4/4 white angel creature tokens with flying and vigilance, which is obscene. So, and then I get my board wrath. That's how that would happen. Another mythic rare, Dreadhorde Butcher. I kind of like this card. Red and black are my colors to begin with, so I really like the red and black, the Rakdos stuff. So it's only a 1/1, but it does have haste. So you're going to cast this on turn 2. They're probably going to have a dude already, but whatever. Whenever this card deals combat damage to a player or planeswalker, put a 1/1 counter on it. Whenever it dies, it deals damage equal to its power to any target. So could you buff it up with a pump spell and then fling it at somebody? I forget the new fling right now, but effectively that's what it is you're just flinging this guy. Maybe it's Thud. It might be Thud. And it says to any target, so you can attack or hit it with a player, or hit a player with it. Or you could take if you're playing physical magic, you could actually take the card and thump it on somebody's head, I guess. Another one of those guys, another Teferi, another one of those guys, another Ugin, and another Chandra. So, okay, cool. I have no packs to open. Oh no, I've got to spend hundreds more dollars. This is the amount of money I have right now, and I'm going to have to get some more. For sure. But not right now. See, I've got a bunch of stuff that I need to do here, and now I'm playing, instead of playing for the Ravnica cards, I'm playing for this. War of the Spark stuff. So 5 wins and I get that. So that's cool. I will do that. You know what? Just because I'm here, I'm going to go ahead and spend this and get 11 packs, because why not, right? Let's go ahead and get some packs here. Gone to the, yeah, there we go. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And now I don't have enough money, so I gotta go get some more monies. So let's go to packs, and let's go ahead and open the rest of these up. Okay, so we did like 61 packs in this. Let's go ahead and open just one, get that out of the way. Skadoosh! All kinds of stuff. And then we are also going to go back and look at the commons and uncommons, because I don't know anything about them. I haven't really looked at spoilers. Okay, another Karn. That's cool. Alright, so let's go and open the other tin. Karn seems to be kind of cheap. He's all over the place. Alright, let's see. Perhelion 2. 7 mana for a 5/5. Flying First Strike Vigilance. It's a vehicle. Whenever this attacks, create 2 4/4 white angel creature tokens with flying and vigilance that are attacking crew 4. So what does the crew do? See, the crew stuff, Kaladesh, I didn't really pay much attention to because I wasn't really into magic stuff at that point. I like the idea of vehicles and stuff, though. So tap any number of creatures you control with power 4 or more. This vehicle becomes an artifact creature until end of turn. So that's the cost, is you have to tap other creatures. So I could have like 2 guys that are 2/2s, tap both of them, and then it would crew that, and then this becomes a creature, I attack with it, and then I get 2 4/4s out of the deal. So on my subsequent turns, if that 4/4, one of those 4/4s are still around, I can tap one of those to crew that and attack with this 5/5. That's not horrible. I don't know. I don't see the thing of attacking with the vehicles. They have to have some really good stuff. I mean, this does have Flying First Strike and Vigilance, so it's not too bad. Another Dreadhorde Butcher. Silent Submersible. They're chucking artifacts in here, and I don't know. Especially vehicles. I don't know much about the lore on Ravnica, but I didn't know they had things like that. Maybe they were brought over from Kaladesh or something. I don't know. 2/3 for 2 mana. Artifact vehicle. Whenever this deals combat damage to a player or planeswalker, you draw a card. So crew 2. So I got to have a 2-power dude. This turns into a vehicle, and I get an effect where I can draw a card. So that's not too. It's like Thieving Magpie or something like that. I forget what the enchantment is that you can put on something whenever you draw a card or whenever you hit for damage. It's like an Ophidian kind of a thing. Roll Reversal. 3 mana for a sorcerer. Exchange control of 2 target permanents that share a permanent type. So if you have multiple things like permanent type would be creature, artifact, whatever, enchantment. I can steal somebody's stuff, which is kind of neat. Double Spark, or Spark Double, rather. 4 mana. You may have this enter the battlefield as a copy of a creature or planeswalker you control, except it enters with an additional 1/1 counter on it, if it's a creature. If it's a planeswalker, you get an additional 1/1 loyalty counter. And it is not legendary if that permanent is legendary. In other words, you're not going to be screwing yourself over by, oh, I've got a pluff or whatever on the table. You play this, and they both die because legendary. That wouldn't be good. And speaking of the devil, here's another one of those. I've got like 85 of those so far. Vivian's Arcbow. Legendary artifact. Costs 2X and tap. Discard a card. Look at the top X cards of your library. You can put a creature card with converted mana cost X or less from among them onto the battlefield. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in any order. Okay. Sounds good. Another one of those. Another Ravnica at War. Exile all multicolored permanents. And then I got another rare wild card. I want to take a look here. I got 32 commons, 34 uncommons, 15 rares, and 10 mythics. So, and I'm very close to another uncommon there whenever I open some more packs up, which I'll have to grind that out. But, okay, cool. Neat stuff. They've got some sealed stuff going on here. Let's see what that costs. It costs like real money, is 2,000, so I could actually get into that. And if I got 2 wins, what? I would get 3 packs and 600 gems. What's the break-even point on this? So the break-even is 6 wins. But you do get like 3 packs, you know, as you say I get 4 wins, I get 3 packs, 1,400 gems. I mean, not bad at all. I don't do much sealed or drafts, though. I just cannot really get into it. Traditional draft War of the Spark is going to be starting in 87 hours. So, yeah, be ready for that. So the countdown begins. All right, that's going to be it for me. Thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed. If you did, please leave a like. Until next time, this is Dirty William doing the dirty work.